I hate you so much.
You said we needed theme music. If anybody, hey kids, you might recognize that song from the best part of Batman vs Superman, which was Wonder Woman. She wasn't even in the title, but somehow she became the best part.
Welcome everybody to the
welcome.
Fortress of Comic News.
That's not our actual introduction song. I was just messing with you. Junkie XL didn't actually write that song for our podcast. He wrote it for a movie. So we're not that famous. I think it's I'm Mike. That's Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris.
He's Chris. I'm Mike. Episode 6?
5. You're always one ahead.
Oh man, I'm wishful thinking, I guess. I don't know. I must have lost an episode or gained an episode somewhere. It's been a week since our last episode. It feels longer than a week for some reason. Yeah,
because we did it on a Monday.
Before we get in all the news and stuff, I got a good story from today. So I had to go to the dentist today, and while I was at the dentist, I was just sitting there waiting, as you usually do in doctors' offices, and these two older gentlemen come in. They're in their like late 60s, early 70s, and these guys look like they've seen some shit. They just, they're just chilling there. I think his buddy drove him to the dentist office because he had like an eye patch, and I don't think he could see. Is that a Flash? Is that a Blue Lantern Flash? Oh, it's the Captain America. Never mind.
Hail Hydra.
Oh my God. You're still upset about it. Anyways, so I'm sitting there in the doctor's office. I'll finish the story quick. And the one guy turns the other guy, and usually you hear him talking about like the weather, because that's usually all I hear old people talking about, is like the weather and their medication. But he's like,
it's because they can feel it in their bones.
Because they have a weather system in their bones. He goes, hey, new season of Peaky Blinders is out. Did you watch it? And they started talking about Peaky Blinders, and I was like, holy shit, this is one of my favorite shows. And then they started speculating on it, like why they're called the Peaky Blinders. If nobody's ever watched the Peaky Blinders, they're called the Peaky Blinders because they're a gang from England back in the 1800s, and hide razors in their hats, and they take their hats and they smack people in the face with them. Hence the Peaky Blinders. They cut your eyes open. But they started speculating. He's like, yeah, well, you gotta. It's pretty useful in a fight. And then he said, well, you just gotta watch out when you take the hat off and put it on. And I didn't think about it. I'm like, holy shit, these guys are pretty funny. And they started like making jokes like that. And then I thought to myself while I was sitting there, I'm like, these guys could have their own podcast. There's old guys talking about TV shows. And then I thought to myself, that's probably going to be us when we're like 75. And then it got really real for me as I was sitting there in the doctor's office watching the two older versions of us as they talked about TV shows, and one had an eye patch. I don't know which one of us is going to lose an eye, but
I hope it's not me.
I hope it's not me either. Anyways, on that note, we can start the show. And hopefully we'll still be talking about comic books 70 years from now. That's all I want.
Spoilers.
If I live that long. Life of drugs. You usually don't live that long. All right. So do you have any good stories to tell me before we get into this, or are we just going to talk about the news?
I can tell you about how I was told I was hot today.
You were. How did that happen? This is interesting. No?
Just doing my thing, stocking Pepsi, and Andrew comes up to me and just goes, I just want you to know you're really hot. And I didn't know what to say. So it's like, thank you.
So you said thanks.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Good for you.
She's married, so it's a little weird, but
well, maybe maybe you shouldn't tell any more people about this. Those are the types of stories you don't advertise around.
Yeah, I'm an open book.
What can I say? I'm an open book. Speaking of open books, we enjoy comic books, which this podcast is about. Look at that. That's a perfect segue.
Back it in.
We got some good stuff this week. Did you see The Killing Joke is going to be released in the theaters for one night?
Yes.
I don't think they're posting the date until like next week sometime. None of the dates or cities are up. I'm sure it's only going to be like New York City and Boston, all the major cities like that, which it usually is.
Well, it might be in like Regal theaters.
If they did it in all Regal theaters, that would be great because it's one of those events. I forgot what they call them, not Fandango, but Fathom events is what they're called. So yeah,
I have to look it up more. Although I had a bad experience with one of those before.
You did?
Yeah, I went to go see Dragon Ball Z Battle. What was the
Battle of the Gods is the first
Battle
one.
of the Gods? Was that it?
Yep.
I'm sorry, there's so many video games with Dragon Ball Z in it. I get confused.
Yeah.
And I just knocked my earbuds out. All right, everybody, watch me put earbuds in. All right, so we get there and I'm all pumped, and I got my DBZ shirt on. I'm with my bro Cam, and we're sitting there for about 20 minutes. Nothing's happening, and then the guy comes in and goes, "Yeah, there's something wrong with it. It's going to take us a while to fix it, so we're just canceling the show. You can all get refunds." And we all screamed at him for a while. That was pretty funny, and he said, "There's nothing I can do," and I forget what the movie that was on after it, but there was some lame-ass movie.
Oh,
and we're all just like, cancel that one. We'll wait.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it sucked. I didn't go to Regal for a while after that.
Yeah, that would make me mad. I mean, they can't, but it sucks that it had to happen when you wanted to see that movie.
Yeah. It had to be that movie and, like, that hype behind it.
Yeah, you're like, I haven't watched Dragon Ball Z in a while, but this is pretty dark in here. Like, nothing's happening. It was like an April Fool's joke. We didn't actually reboot we didn't continue Dragon Ball Z. It's just a blank screen.
If they did that to me, I wouldn't be here today.
I'm still watching the Dragon Ball Z Super show that's in Japan. I'm caught up on it. The newest story arc is pretty badass. Their Trunks is coming back from the future.
That's what I heard.
Back to the future, back from the future. And there's an evil version of Goku called Black Goku. He looks like a demon or something. I don't know. It looks crazy.
Which, by the way, I'm calling racism on that.
Yeah. When you tell people, it's like, who's the villain? It's like Black Goku. And people are like, really? Come on. But that's how it translates from Japanese. I'm sure they don't mean it that way. It means like dark or evil Goku, but that's just the way it translates.
I think they say African American nowadays.
The Japanese don't care. I mean, that's just how it comes out in their language, but whatever.
I'm waiting about my anime, so I'm waiting on English subtitle or English dubs. Not subtitles.
Yeah, I couldn't wait. I had to watch it. So something big happened this week. If anyone is a fan of superheroes and fighting, there's a really good superhero fighting game, DC Comics, called Injustice, Gods Among Us, and they announced number 2 today, or yesterday, 2 days ago, I forget. But it's going to be awesome. With
a really great comic.
Oh, yeah, they're still doing it.
I don't know if are you reading Injustice?
No, I never read the comic. Oh, I read like the first few issues, but I didn't continue with it. I heard it's really good, though.
I love it. It's so good.
The trailer did you watch the trailer they dropped?
Yeah.
So when at first there was a poster that leaked on the internet of Batman fighting Flash, and they're both wearing armor, and I kept posting on Reddit. I was like, this looks just like the Justice comic book, where they all get Justice is a run drawn by Alex Ross, where they all get, like, at the end, all the superheroes get armor, and for anyone who hasn't read it. But I'm like, this looks like they're doing Justice, where everybody gets armor. And so I'm watching that trailer that they released yesterday, and at the end of it, they're all just suiting up with like Flash gets armor, Batman gets armor, where his like suit's red, and it's Aquaman's got armor. It's like, you get armor, everybody gets armor. It was awesome.
The other thing I found weird about that was, like, the first game they had armor.
Yeah.
Now everyone's surprised by armor. I'm just like,
no, but it was weird because they were wearing like their own suits, and then the armor popped up like over it.
Yeah,
like, I don't know how it's going to work in the game. If that's like just costumes, or is it going to like actually give you more defense when you're fighting? Or, but Supergirl.
I read a thing that said that there's going to be like different armor sets that actually affect battle. So there might be some light RPG elements in the game.
That's pretty crazy.
Which would be interesting.
Yeah. To make it a little more, give it another layer. But Supergirl got announced. Everybody was excited about that. She's going to be in the game.
Somebody found Captain Cold's cold gun.
Yes, Captain Cold. Like realistically, Captain Cold will get this shit beat out of him. But I mean, they did the whole thing where they take pills and get superpowers, I guess. So.
And who was the Atrocitus? That was the other one I heard that got announced.
Oh, Red Lantern Atrocitus.
Which would be amazing if they do that.
Because they usually do a few big characters, like they had Solomon Grundy in the last one, and that's pretty awesome. I'm excited.
What was fun about this one is there's very few times where I'm given information before announcements, and this was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I've known about this for like 3 or 4 days before it released.
Yeah, and look how well GameStop was about not leaking the info on the internet, huh?
Yeah. Well, there was a great, like when I was, full time there, it was this great joke about it because you would go on these threads and there would be these leaks, and it was always like Assassin's Creed or something like that.
Yeah.
And in the background was the GameStop vacuum cleaner. Now, anyone that's worked at a GameStop knows what I'm talking about because
just one vacuum cleaner.
They bought these vacuum cleaners in bulk, and they're the stupidest looking bulky things from like the 80s. Never work properly, but every GameStop has it, and I swear we've tried where we've had ours broken and shipped it out, and we get another one of the same exact one. And there's no way they're still made. There's just no way.
The shelf inventory of just GameStop vacuums just sitting somewhere.
There's a warehouse somewhere. So it's funny because I can always tell when it's a GameStop one now because I can always see that vacuum somewhere in the background.
Wow. That's
But yeah, they sent these out to all the stores early as part of the announcement because they wanted the trailer to hit, people go out and pre-order and get the poster, and somebody of course had to put it on their Instagram or whatever.
Yeah. It didn't take long to spread through the internet. Holy shit.
Never does.
I don't know. It's almost like I feel like they went into that knowing it was going to get leaked. But
I almost think that they plan on leaks nowadays because,
like,
not to get into video game talk, but everything at E3 right now has been leaked.
Yeah, I know. Like, well, you got to think about getting into E3 next week. You think like some games are probably like, well, we're just going to get lost in the crowd for that day for all the shit that gets released. It's like, maybe we should do it a week before. Plus, it's kind of weird they have the tournament coming up Saturday, the Mortal Kombat X Pro League tournament, and they're supposedly showing off gameplay footage at it for Injustice 2, which is going to be pretty cool. They're probably going to stream it on Twitch or something.
Yeah, it's exciting. I like that game. It's simple but deep and a lot of fun.
Yeah, the story is really good. So Flash finally landed a director. For how long? Who knows? Rick, I'm gonna pronounce his last name wrong. Famuyiwa. He directed the most recent movie he did was Dope. I never watched it, but
I heard it's good.
Yeah, I've heard it's pretty good too, and it looks like a fun movie, so I might check it out now. But he keeps posting on his Twitter like the last couple days. He's had like 2 tweets where, like today, it was like, oh, I got lost in the Speed Force today and came out and don't remember much. But he posted a picture of just all this Flash shit on his desk, like Flash pop figures, Flash statues, and then he had a bunch of Flash trades like Rebirth and all the Jeff Johns stuff, and then he had like the Silver Age collected trade, even though it's not for sale yet, but apparently he got one, and yeah, he's really getting into it.
Good.
Yeah, that's how it should be. He seems like really into it, and he really wants to be part of the whole DC universe, and that's the type of director we want. And someone who's going to read through all that source material and pull from all of it, which is good. It's always good for a comic book fan.
You need a fan behind it.
Yeah. And speaking of directors of DC movies, I thought James Wan was off of Aquaman, but apparently I've been seeing a lot of stuff on the internet where he's still on the movie, but he's like, he hasn't really gotten it. It's more of like him sitting back and listening to what they want to do for the movie rather than like take over, which is nice. I think it's more of just
maybe he looks at that paycheck and decided not to quit.
yeah, right. Maybe he's just when he says like sitting back and kind of like for talks about the movie, he's basically, you could just know he's sitting there listening to what Jeff Johns wants for a Aquaman movie.
Well, I can't argue with this man.
Yeah, really. But it's like he said that it's exciting for him because it's something that hasn't been done in the movies yet, you know, because I mean, back in the day, it probably wasn't achievable through CGI or practical effects. But I don't know, they were talking about a lot of practical effects, like filming him underwater and stuff, and I'm like, well, just don't show him holding his breath.
Doing the underwater stuff's going to be tough. I mean, I don't think anyone's done it very successfully for that length.
Yeah, it's like, how do you... He's supposed to like move freely through water and breathe through water. I'm sure they could take care of it. Everything gets CGI nowadays, but I don't know. I guess we'll see how it comes out. I think DC is a little more protective of these properties now, you know, after what's happened. But did you see the newest?
Hope for the best.
During the what is it called? The NBA whatever. Is it the championship? The
finals.
The new Suicide Squad TV spot aired.
No.
It was like, I mean, it was like a minute long, but the thing about it is they showed the new DC logo at the front of it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and it's like people are already talking about how they're going to change it for the comics and the movies, whatever. They're going to like, you know, doll it up for whatever it's in front of. So it was like, the whole color of it was kind of like, you know, random, like tie-dye colors, kind of like the Suicide Squad's been, like really bright and vibrant, and there was like some type of decal behind it. It looked pretty awesome.
Well, have you noticed it on your books yet?
In the top, top left, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks good. Like it doesn't stand out too much.
Yeah, I like it.
It reminds me a lot of like how I feel about the Marvel logo. Like it's there and it looks kind of iconic, and I hope they stick with this one because I really like it.
Is it the big M? I can't remember.
Yeah, it just says Marvel, but it's the same one they've had forever.
Yeah. There's no need for them to change that. I mean, I heard for Legends of Tomorrow they've been announcing that they're going to have a few extra characters on next season. I mean, we already know Our Man's coming, but they talked about bringing Vixen, which is weird because it's a new actress. We already had Vixen on Arrow, and apparently they're getting a completely new actress for this one. And I don't know if they're going to pull her from like the future or the past, but that would really be the only way you could say, oh, this is a new Vixen already. They're just kind of weird. She was only in one episode in Arrow, but now they don't want her. I don't know.
I haven't watched Legends Tomorrow, but I like the idea of it being a different cast every season.
Yeah,
maybe that's completely different because you got to have a leader, like maybe the Atom as a regular or someone. But I like the idea of new people being infused into it and kind of as a way to introduce characters or put a spotlight on characters.
Yeah. When I remember before it came out for the first season, it was like the main writer was saying that we're planning on adding new heroes and killing off some new heroes or taking them away every season. I'm like, well, that's pretty cool that, it's a chance for us to be like, we saw a live action Firestorm this season, or like, next season we're seeing the live action Our Man, because most of these characters realistically would never get their own show. Like I mean, you might be able to, like, for Our Man, I don't know if you could give him his own show. Like, I don't think that would work, but like you can give him a season on a show and people will love it.
Yeah,
it works great. So you saw Ninja Turtles. I did not.
I did.
Let's hear your review about it. I might go see it. It looks like a lot of fun, but let me know what you think.
I recommend it. It's really good. It's goofy and weird, and it's basically a live action cartoon.
Mm-hmm. Like the old cartoons.
That's what I was gonna say. It really reminds me of the old Turtles cartoons of when we were younger.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, I'm not a Turtles buff or big Turtles fan, but it had that same feel to me. Everything in it really just flowed a lot better in the last movie,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't pussyfoot around things. Like Krang is from another dimension. Like they don't even try to
Explain it or anything?
they do explain how it
Oh,
happens,
okay.
but I'm saying
Uh-huh.
they don't come up with some like Galactus is a cloud BS to get around it. Like they just literally he jumps to another dimension and meets Krang.
Wow.
Um, Krang's great. Shredder's good again. The Turtles are much better. They've kind of put them in a place where it's a year after the events of the last movie,
Mm-hmm.
and so they've had time, they've had adventures, and they're more of a team now. And
Oh, okay.
they've built their characters. Um,
How are
I just had
Rocksteady? How's
I had a lot
Rocksteady
of
Bebop?
fun. Roxy and Bebop are fantastic.
Were they?
They're really funny. They're stupid.
Yeah.
They're Rocksteady and Bebop. And
That's
then
awesome.
I know you were having troubles with Stephen Mel being in the movie.
Yeah.
I think he's a great Casey Jones. He did a really good job.
Did he?
Yeah, they put him into the story in a
Uh-huh.
good way. And
Did he have the accent?
no, he was talking like Stephen Mel.
He was just talking like they didn't even
Yeah.
try.
And they didn't go too overboard. Like they gave him the hockey stick, and he does
Yeah.
like hockey tricks. And at one point they put him on skates. You've seen it in the trailer.
Yeah.
Um, but they don't. It's not like the old movies, which I do love. I'm not gonna lie, where like he has a cricket bat and all this weird crap.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They just stick with the hockey theme,
Good.
and he inserts himself really well into the cast.
That's awesome.
And I like how he kind of meets them, and you would think it'd be a little bit different if you met giant turtles,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's not like he just immediately goes in and buys into it right away and is like all about it. Like
Yeah.
he's kind of weird about it, and they play a couple practical jokes on him as like the new guy. It's movie's a lot of fun. I really recommend it. Anyone who didn't like the last one or was kind of iffy in the last one, as I was,
I'll definitely check it out.
this one's much better.
That's cool. And like, is that how I don't remember Krang that much in the old school stuff? Was he from another dimension?
To my knowledge, he was.
So what is he like? He's like a alien or something, or
He's just some sort of conqueror from another dimension, and he goes to different dimensions and tries to conquer them.
so that's his motivation as a villain. He's just conquering other
He's just a
dimensions.
bad guy. Yeah, they don't go too much into it, which I'm cool with. Like,
Yeah.
I have no problem with just he's bad because he's bad. Like, I'm okay.
Yeah, I
with
mean,
that.
when he's from another dimension, you don't really need any other explanation. You're just like, I'm a dick, kind of like Zoom. Like, I just want to destroy all these other dimensions.
And they do go back and do some of the tropes from the last movie, but
Yeah,
you forget
They-
it because they're having fun.
they must eat pizza.
Oh yeah, that is my one complaint: is they get a pizza, but there's no anchovies on it,
Oh man,
and I'm not happy about that.
do they eat it though? Or there's
Yeah,
I did like the whole. I remember the first one had the whole pizza joke of like they used to be sponsored by Pizza Hut and now they're sponsored by Domino's or something. Or they used to be sponsored by Domino's. It was either or. They changed sponsors, but if you watch the joke about pizza in the first one, it's like a blatant slap in the face to whoever didn't sponsor them anymore. It was really good. Like they made it obvious of who sponsored their pizza that time.
and there's so many good moments in it. Like I really want you to see it and experience most of it for yourself before I go into it too much of it. But it's a lot of fun. People should go see it.
We have this week. There's a couple. Warcraft comes out this week. Are you going to see that?
Yes, I'm going. Well, I might be going Saturday.
Yeah, I might go either Saturday or Sunday, and I want to go see The Conjuring too. So I might be doing a double feature because I'm a huge horror movie fan too. So that's a James Wan film. So if you want to know what Aquaman's going to be like, you go watch The Conjuring 2, and then it's not going to be anything like that because it's a horror movie.
The only thing that's going to get in my way is I am talking with a friend about going down to Philadelphia Saturday for a live recording of Hollywood Babylon.
Oh, man. That would be, yeah.
That's the only thing that would get in my way.
If anyone doesn't know what Hollywood Babylon is, Kevin Smith, the king of podcasts, has a podcast called Hollywood Babylon that he does with Ralph Garman, and it's
my
really
favorite
good
podcast on the internet. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's a funny podcast. Oh, that'd be awesome. Those usually sell out too when they go on the road.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very rare that Kevin Smith will they do random cities and stuff. They're like Texas one week, and then the next week they're down in Philadelphia or up in Philadelphia, and it's like trying to catch him is hard.
It sucks because my friend who I'm going with, he's a manager of a store, and it's really hard for him to get time off. We were also going to go up to, because Kevin Smith was in Niagara doing James Bond Get Old.
Yeah.
And he couldn't get the time off. And that's the worry we're having this weekend is we're pretty sure he's not going to get the day off.
That's worth the drive though, man. That'd be so awesome.
Yeah.
Because usually, I'm pretty sure Kevin Smith. I've never been to a show, but I feel like he would hang out after, maybe take pictures of the people and stuff. He seems like that type of guy.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's like a comedy show, but I don't think a ton of people go to it's not like thousands of people at these things. Okay, so I think that covers it for most of the news, unless you got anything.
No.
You heard about. Not a whole lot coming up really. But
almost like there's a big convention coming.
Yeah, it's almost like there's San Diego Comic-Con. It's like the calm before the storm, right? I'm sure we'll have a lot of stuff to talk about that already. So if anybody knows me, I'm a big Batman fan, and I have a large collection of Batman action figures and pop figures. Well, Target decided to drop a bomb and release a Batman Zur-En-Arr pop figure. Anyone who knows who Batman Zur-En-Arr is, it was original, I think it came out in the 80s. It's a Batman from Planet X. They just made him from another planet. Well, Grant Morrison's run of Batman R.I.P. is where Batman's mind gets invaded. You always see him protecting from bad guys where he's blocking punches and kicking people in the face. But everybody's always wondered, what happens when someone takes over Batman's mind and tries to unlock his secrets. Well, he kind of builds this failsafe within his mind that he calls Batman Zur-En-Arr. So basically he goes, no pun intended, batshit crazy. And he gets this suit that he rips apart, all these fabrics, and he puts together this red, purple, and yellow Batman suit, and he's got these sticks that he's hitting people in the face with, and he's gone crazy. And even Batmite is in that arc too. He's seeing Batmite, and you don't know whether Batmite's actually there or just messing with him. But yeah, Batman Zur-En-Arr is awesome, and I freaked out when they had him in Lego Batman 3, the game. They put Batman Zur-En-Arr in the game. But yeah, Target has an exclusive pop figure, Batman Zur-En-Arr. And it's to find this thing, I've been looking all over. It's already $60 to $70 on eBay. I've been searching. You can look it up on Target's website. They give you the product code, right? And I'm searching on these websites. Well, the product code for the Batman pop figure is the same product code for the new Suicide Squad ones. So I'm having people go to Target for me where I know it is. There was one out near you at the Henrietta Target. So I sent my sister over there, right? Because I saw they got a shipment of 12. I didn't know 12 what. I had no idea. She goes there. It's all Suicide Squad pops. It's not even, there's no Batman Zur-En-Arr. I'm they don't even tell you which one it's gone to. You just have to go there and try to figure it out. It's ridiculous.
Has anyone tried the Victor store?
I looked online. The Victor store said they didn't get a shipment in, but I don't know if they have it or not. So if you want to do me a solid.
I'll pop my head in there.
Pop your head for the pop.
If you want to hear worse, the new
Yeah.
Star Wars pops. There's 4 exclusives.
Yep.
One's GameStop, that's easy. One's Target, that's fairly easy. One's Walgreens, which each Walgreens will get one.
Yeah,
I got
the
a whole bunch
Walgreens
of first one
exclusives,
there.
they're so hard to get to.
Which I was lucky, and I got the last because they did a whole wave just for Walgreens, and I got all of them.
Wow.
And then the one that I don't know if I'll ever get is an FYE exclusive.
Oh, wow.
I think the nearest FYE is somewhere near Watkins Glen.
There's if I'm ever in Albany, there's a huge FYE there I could check out for you.
Yeah. I'll let you know. I think it's next month that they drop.
So this is the beauty of like when you have friends, kids, and you get old and you move away, and then you start collecting figures to replace your friends. You could tell your friends to go collect exclusive figures because it's probably not. There's a good chance not all the exclusives are going to be around you.
Which, I mean, we're way off topic of the show, but
yeah,
I still have a Batman pop from like, was it 2 years ago when they did the blind boxes at GameStop?
Oh yeah.
Did you still need that?
Yeah, I still want that. I completely forgot. Chris has a pop figure for me. And yeah.
I think I got it just for you, and it's still sitting here.
Yeah, so if anybody remembers Black Friday, GameStop decided to do this ingenious and very sick thing where they wanted to get rid of all their old shitty toys, so Funko decided to make 4 exclusive pops. And then some of them were, rare Chase golden pops where you had to buy a random Funko box. So I spent they're $20 each. I bought 3 of them, and I got 2 Batgirls out of them and a Claptrap. And I was not excited about the Claptrap, but I had Batgirl, which I was excited about, but I really wanted the regular Batman, and I didn't get him, but Chris did. So
off air, I'll tell you a little story about that.
Okay. Yeah, so that's our obsession with stupid toys.
Before we move on, did you get all the Dragon Ball Z ones that just came out?
No, the only Dragon Ball Z ones that I cared to get were I have Funimation did an exclusive God Goku, and I have Golden Frieza, and that's it.
Oh, I just got the whole new wave.
Oh, you got all of them?
Yeah, well, I had Trunks in it, so I had to get that.
Yeah, the Trunks is cool. They did Dragon Ball too, right? It's just Dragon Ball.
Yeah, they did Goku from Dragon Ball and Bulma from Dragon Ball.
There was, but it's just a sick thing about exclusive though. So I have a good story about New York Comic Con. My first time at New York Comic Con, I didn't realize there's 3 types of people. There's people at Comic Con that are there to just buy exclusive shit and sell it on eBay. There's people at Comic Con that want to just cosplay all weekend. And there's people at Comic Con who are just there to enjoy the con, whether it's going to the booths or going to panels. Would you not agree with me on that?
Yeah, that's pretty much every convention.
Okay, yeah. So I didn't realize walking around that all these lines before you get into Comic-Con are all for people that are just lining up to buy exclusive stuff. There was a Planet Arlia Vegeta. If anyone's a Dragon Ball Z fan, first appearance, Vegeta, he had red hair and a different colored suit than what he actually had. Well, Toy Tokyo had an exclusive where they're selling it for $15, but you had to wait in line the day before for a ticket, and then you had to present the ticket and then pay for it. It was a ridiculous setup they had. So $15 for this pop figure. That pop figure now goes for, it sold out instantly because it was awesome. It goes for at least $400 on eBay.
And I've actually seen it drop recently.
Yeah.
I saw it as low as $70 the other day.
I would almost think about paying that, but still, when I saw people bidding on it for $400, I was like, this system is so messed. I just want the pop. I don't want it. I don't care about how much it's worth.
Yeah, that's part of the whole. That's how they get you.
Yeah. Yep. That's it. That's exclusives, and they're sick. They're a sick joke for us collectors. Okay. Anyways, let's talk about TV shows. Did you watch the Preacher episode?
I didn't.
You didn't?
No, I kept forgetting.
It was good. All I'm going to say is Saint of Killers. Yeah, so now I bet you wish you watched it. Anyone who knows what I'm talking about with Preacher and the State of Killers, Chris is missing out right now.
I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna buy the season on Amazon.
Yeah,
Just do it because I need to.
it's it's weird because everybody who read the comics is like really loving the show, I think, and it just seems really confusing for people who haven't read the comic because a lot of weird stuff happened last episode.
Mhm.
Like the whole Saint of Killers thing, they just show him kind of like back in time. They don't really explain a whole lot of it. It's more of like, how are you going to keep people interested that don't really know these characters and where they're going with the show? But I mean, they're doing completely different from the comics. But I mean, we kind of have a we have a characterization of all these people before. I mean, whether it's a different story or not, we know how most of them behave, unlike the comic people, or we know their origins. But I guess we'll see. I really liked it, though.
I like that first episode. I need to just. I don't know. It's been a crazy week.
I agree.
Every week's crazy. I don't know what I'm talking about.
So I think I only had 2 TV shows this week. Preacher, which is that's like, I think that's a new low for me, is 2 shows. So I've been playing a lot of Overwatch because I only had 2 TV shows. The hours that I haven't watched TV shows, I've been staying up till 1 a.m. every night and playing Overwatch. That's a whole nother story for another time. Game of Thrones last week was amazing. Are you watching it again yet? Have you started or no? Well, this episode starts off, and spoilers, the Hound comes back. We always thought he was dead. Well, he's building. There's a couple side stories going on, but the most prominent story is the Hound he was found by this preacher or some type of religious guy who's building a tower or a temple for worship, and he's just helping these people, and they all seem like really nice people. And the guy knows about his past life and how he used to kill people, and he has this like existential conversation with him of like, am I a good person, or like, why do the gods keep me around? And these guys show up like halfway through the episode and say like, what do you have here that we can take? And the guy was really nice. He's like, we have food and stuff. And they left, and they said, oh, the night is dark and full of terrors. So they're another religion and those guys are, I forget what gods they worship, but the Hound knows they're dicks and they're going to come back and raid the village. So he's off in the woods, chopping wood for the night, and he comes back and the whole village is dead. And the episode ends with like him grabbing the wood axe and just heading towards town to just like kill all of them. It's gonna be awesome. He's just gonna fight these guys with an axe. So that's what happened. Another big incident was Arya gets stabbed in the stomach a couple times and like thrown in the ocean, and she's in the harbor. And then she ends with her like walking through town, like holding her stomach, and she's definitely bleeding out. So I don't know how she's going to survive that. But a lot of people at work are like, so she's dead, right? And I'm thinking to myself, Game of Thrones has a pattern to where like you see someone get stabbed like Arya or the Hound, and you think, oh, they're dead. And when they show it on camera and you see it coming, like them dying, like if they're in a fight or something, they're usually not going to die. It's the people that get killed out of nowhere are the ones that usually stay dead, that like you don't see coming, is the way I see it. But it was a pretty good episode nonetheless.
Good.
Comics this week. Did you read all your Rebirth books?
Yeah, I only have 2.
Which 2 did you get?
Superman and Batman.
So what was your favorite comic this week?
The goddamn number 4.
I think you've explained this one to me. I forget, though.
Jason Aaron. I'm going to zone on the artist, but it's a image book about the times after Eden and before the flood, with Cain, son of Adam, who was the man who created murder.
Oh yeah, like Cain and Abel, yeah.
Good. I mean, it's really. I mean, it's a quote unquote Bible story, but it's really intense and just tribal and almost Mad Maxian.
Mm-hmm.
And it's you kind of think you know where it's going, but you don't. And I'm waiting for that 5th, 6th issue to see, because Jason Aaron likes to bring you up and then just completely cut you down and realize you don't know a damn thing about what you're reading.
That's awesome. My favorite comic last week, if you can guess, was Batman.
Okay.
I really liked the Batman Rebirth. I mean, you don't know where the story's going, but you got the new. He's not Robin. Duke is now another Batman, I think. He tells him he's trying something different, so I guess we'll see where it goes. I can't help but just think he's a Robin. But I read I downloaded some of the other Rebirth titles that I didn't get. Like I read Superman, which is interesting because they're trying to revive the dead Superman. Green Arrow was really good, surprisingly.
That was the only one I thought about.
It was. Do you know how many? Did you hear how many copies it sold? It's already on like a second printing.
Wow.
It sold like 80 to 90,000 copies. And everybody's saying like Rebirth saved Green Arrow because that's a lot of fans reading Green Arrow.
Now, going back to Batman, you really liked it.
Yeah.
Let me go back to the notes, but I think I said it was my most look forward to book for next. No, Civil War was.
Yeah.
Okay, well, still, that was one of the books I was really looking forward to. I wanted to see what was going on. I was severely disappointed by it.
Were you expecting more of like the Rebirth main story?
No, I was expecting to know what the hell is going on.
What do you mean?
I feel like these Rebirth books need to be, and I thought Superman did it well, need to introduce the character and show where they're going moving forward. I feel like this just spun its wheels and then showed me a character who they didn't explain.
Who, Duke?
Yeah.
Duke was in the whole New 52 Batman.
Yeah, I know that, but like I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know where he's going.
Oh. You got to read and find out.
But I mean, the whole point of this was that I don't have to read 20 books to find out what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
I will tell you, I'll probably give a couple issues to Batman because it wasn't bad. It was just disappointing.
Tom King is like that though. His writing, it gets really good. You just got to give it a few issues.
Yeah, I think he's going to have 2 or 3 issues before I make a decision on him.
I will tell you, I was so excited. My most book that I was excited for this week was Flash, so I already read it before I got my books in the mail. And that might have the Batman you're looking for because there's quite a bit of Batman in the Flash book, which is awesome. I don't know what book you're looking forward to, but
I'm torn, so I want to hear what your most look forward to book is first.
It was a tie between like the Wonder Woman Rebirth and Flash Rebirth.
Okay, mine was a tie between Wonder Woman Rebirth and Action Comics.
Oh, okay.
Because I think the Wonder Woman. I mean, Greg Rucka back on Wonder Woman is going to be amazing.
It was amazing. I already read it.
And the Action Comics because I want to know what's going on with Lex Luthor coming out of the Darkseid War.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And Dan Jurgens back on Action Comics. I mean,
you can't
go around. Excited about that.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, Rebirth is doing its thing, though. I mean, it's selling a lot. Can you imagine, though, like Green Arrow sold 80,000 copies. How much did Batman sell is what I want to know.
Yeah.
That's got to be crazy. Like, how much did Batman and Superman sell?
These are also inflated numbers. I want to see what they're at come, issue 4 or 5.
Yeah, I mean, to already get like they put Black Canary in the book and had them like interacting with each other, and it was like, I was like, damn, like they've really been missing this. Like,
yeah. Remember when Justice League came out for New 52, and it was huge book and did all these numbers, and it stayed that way.
Yeah.
But still, that first week with people who are just going out to buy it just because, and just overall hype, the numbers were much bigger than they turned out to be.
Yeah.
So I'm always a little wary of those beginning numbers, but
I think the Rebirth book itself is going for a third printing already.
Yeah, which is cool.
Yeah,
I'm glad because I like Green Arrow.
Yeah, it's good to see. It's good to see people into comics. It's always nice because we like comics and we want everyone to like comics. Yeah, so I mean, Rebirth. It's going to keep us busy for a while talking about it. We're going to see where it's going, but I think on that note, it's time for a shitty villain of the week.
Oh, I didn't email you back.
Did you have one or? Because I have one.
I went on this website and it's the 27 lamest super villains of all time.
Okay.
And I've never heard of this person, and it's a Marvel character. And because of the name, we're going to look him up.
Okay.
So you go ahead and look up the Wizard.
The Wizard?
The Wizard.
Are you like pissing?
WHIZZE.
Oh yeah, I see. It's coming up. The Wizard. I've never heard. This is more exciting for me because I've never heard of this one. To tell you, I had Kite Man pulled up.
Kite Man give me next week.
It's okay. The Wizard.
I just saw the Wizard and I had to.
Let's see. Marvel Dynamic Comic Vine. That's what I use. Okay, so the Wizard is a wartime superhero possessing superhuman speed. Acting as a member of the Invaders and Liberty Legion during World War II, the Wizard continued his crime-fighting career decades after the war and even joined the Avengers. So he's not a villain, but he's a hero.
Oh, so this website lies to me.
Hold on.
God damn you, Internet.
We can still talk about him. Hold on. Oh, yeah, this is good. All right. It could be shitty villains and heroes, because there's a lot of crappy heroes, too. All right, so you wanted his origin, right? Do you know his origin yet?
No, I didn't look anything up about him.
As a child, Robert Frank was attacked and bitten by a cobra. Believed to be poisoned, his father injected him with mongoose blood, believing it would serve as the antidote. The transfusion seemingly gave him superhuman speed. In actual fact, it kickstarted his latent mutant power, and Robert grew into an adult to become known as the superhero, the Wizard. So apparently you need to be bitten by a cobra and injected with mongoose blood to get superhuman speed.
Or, just breathing a cloud of smoke.
Yeah, or like the hard water steam was how he got his powers. So during the war, Wizard was one of the many American superheroes fighting against Axis powers. Can you imagine, like, you're a Nazi and you have a guy named the Wizard coming at you? Like, would you even be frightened? I don't think so.
Okay, I feel a little ashamed here because if he was a Defender, that's a Captain America team.
Is he?
I thought you said he was Defender.
No, he joined the Avengers for a little bit.
Oh, okay.
But it shows him standing next to Captain America, and like Iron Man patting him on the back. So the Wizard was tricked by the living laser to attack the Avengers. Now that sounds like a good shitty villain. The living laser, come on. After a short battle with Earth's mightiest heroes, the Wizard joined the team, and together they set out to defeat the living laser. Oh my god, you can't make this stuff up. The Wizard, everyone. He whizzes around, I guess.
I'm gonna send you this link because as I start going further down, it just gets better. Like, there's a villain called the Walrus.
There's a Walrus villain?
Yeah, so I'm gonna send you this link, and that's probably what I'm gonna use for this.
Okay. Since the Wizard was kind of quick. Let's talk about the living laser. Let's talk about a shitty villain.
Okay.
I want to know his origin. Where's his abilities? The living laser is a gifted research scientist with expertise in laser technology and a PhD in physics.
Mm-hmm. This is one I know, actually.
Arthur Parks begins his criminal career using wrist-mounted laser projection units and later implants miniature laser diodes into his skin which absorb energy. Holy shit, this is pretty scientific. With the diode implants, Parks is capable of energy projection, light refraction for invisibility and illusion generation. Oh, good for him. So he's like Iron Man without the suit. He's just trying to shoot people from his hands.
Basically. He's Space Ghost.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all he is. He's an Iron Man enemy. Okay, it makes sense. So they're just blasting each other with things out of their hands. But yeah, the Living Laser versus the Wizard. That just sounds like a really like third-rate WWE match or something. In this corner, you have the Wizard.
It sounds like a bad porno.
The Wizard. The Wizard. I thought when he was called the Wizard, he just like pissed on people, and that's his power. He's just fighting Captain America, and he pisses on his boot, and he's like, "Oh no, the leather's gonna shrink. Come on, he's gotta go dry his boot off."
You're confusing him with a Green Lantern villain.
Which one?
Green Lantern is weak to yellow.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah,
the best joke's the one you have to explain.
So can you fight Green Lantern with can you pee on Green Lantern and he defeats him?
He runs away like a little bitch.
It's
in the Jeff Johns run.
Is it?
I know, I'm making that shit up.
That'd be awesome. Can you imagine okay, so you're a villain, right? And you're in your apartment and you know you're gonna be attacked by a Green Lantern. You just have extra cans of pee lying around that you just what do you just pour them all over and he can't come attack you? Because it's yellow.
I would do.
It's ingenious. Somebody needs to write that story arc. That'd be awesome.
I'm on it.
Yeah, I think that's it for the comic news. I don't know. That's it. The Wizard and Living Laser. How we're gonna end that? Next week we'll talk about Kite Man because Kite Man is actually a good villain. He's he's got the best powers of everyone. If you can't imagine what Kite Man does, he's kind of like Stilt Man. It's not hard to imagine what Stilt Man does either.
I was going to say Stilt Man too.
Yeah, they're both pretty shitty. We could do them both if we want because they're basically the same. All right, well, that's it.
Else on the docket?
Huh?
Anything else on the docket?
No, I think that's it.
We got to do the whole thingy.
What thingy?
Sorry, my attention is in two separate places right now. So you can find us here on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button below.
Subscribe on YouTube, Fortress of Comic News. iTunes, I finally got it figured out. We're going to be on there, so subscribe on iTunes.
That's actually where my attention was.
All right.
And I just submitted it right here now, live for all of you.
Live for all of you. We're now going to iTunes. We're being legit.
And now we're going to have to wait 5 days for fucking iTunes.
It's fine, but there will be 5 episodes up now.
But when we're up on iTunes, please give us a review and a 5-star review at that.
Or 4.5. I'd be okay with a 4.5.
It's 5 or nothing for me.
Okay, 5 or nothing then. What Chris says.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at that Chris Runt. You can find you.
You can find me at my apartment reading comic books whenever you want.
True story.
But yeah, like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, all that good stuff. Hail Hydra.
Remember, kids, Hail Hydra.
Thanks. Fortress Comic News. I'm Mike. That's Chris. Hail Hydra.
Hail Hydra.